Overwhelm. That's the topic that we're speaking about today. We're still on our series of procrastination. Overwhelm is one of those reasons or causes of procrastination. I'm gonna read over a quick definition of overwhelm. Overwhelm, too much to deal with. Very simple. Too much to deal with. Could be it could be overwhelmed at work. One person is pulling you in this direction to have this project done at this time. Another person is pulling you in another direction to help them with another project. You have this deadline. Things overlapping. You feel overwhelmed. At home, kids could be going berserk as kids do. Spouse may not be pulling the weight, helping, pitch in that, take care of this, take care of that. And so therefore, you feel like all these things are just crushing upon you. Too much to deal with. Sometimes it could be we bring these things upon ourselves, like we can become overwhelmed with information. Taking in so many things, one point of view from this person, this source, this coach, this YouTube channel, overwhelmed, too much to deal with. And then what happens? Overwhelm is basically saying you have so many things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things you want to do, and end up doing nothing. You want to do so many things and end up doing nothing. Procrastination, because of the overwhelm. So many options, so many choices, but you're overwhelmed by all these choices. Do I do this thing this guy want me to do, or do I go to the show with this girl, or overwhelmed? So how do we solve for overwhelm? Okay. One, stop for a moment and just take a deep breath. Step back and make a decision. Just choose one. Because all the different things that you want to do, let them just fade to the side. Just let it fade to the side. Guess what if it don't get done? What's going to happen? It's going to fade to the side. Guess what? I just said if you get overwhelmed with things, guess what's going to happen anyway? You're not going to do it. So what's going to happen? Somebody else is going to have to do it, or either way, it's going to fade to the side. So choose one task, do it to completion, and then you can move forward to the next. Simple. Nothing's ever that simple though, is it? But yeah, overwhelm is something that can be solved by can be solved for by thinking again about the bigger why, and also the value of your time and the reward back for doing whatever it is you're seeking to do. Like, what am I going to get more value in doing? Like right now, I have a box full of emails I could love to go through. My storage is getting low. I have a bunch of photos I should be deleting, and that's accumulated over years and years. But is that really gonna be the best value of my time? Probably not. There are a few other tasks. One that I'm working on is one design particularly, which is quite important because it is somewhat of it's one of those bricks that I'm laying. I'm gonna get into this brick wall behind me. This is a good way to introduce this. um, one of those bricks that I'm laying to build my foundation upon what I'm seeking to establish. And ironically, this is my first time wearing this on this podcast. Is this logo? It says I love. I love. Okay. Now, what that means is it's short. It's a short saying for I love black love. I love black love. Okay. It's one of those. What black love is, it is, my projection of it is community love. Common unity equals love. Black unity, love. Okay, so one brick at a time. Back to what I'm saying. So the design that I'm speaking on is one of those bricks that I must lay. And another reason why I chose to do this podcast in front of this brick wall behind me is to show, one, I like the aesthetics, so I like the looks. I a little matches my skin tone a bit. I didn't realize it at first, but it does. But you see all the different imperfections here. This brick doesn't look like that brick. This brick don't look like that brick. There's still some order here, but they're not perfectly. They're not all symmetrical. They're not all placed in some kind of perfect little way. Like this side of the wall looks different from this side of the wall, but it's all one wall. Let's get the job done. And that's what we have to think more on as well when we get into these procrastinating phases where we're overwhelmed, perfectionism, fear of judgment, all of these things. Get them out of the way. Just like this wall back here, thinking about overwhelm, it was laid brick by brick by brick by brick. Initially, it looks like, man, think about when you see a house. This is this beautiful house today that has some really beautiful brickwork on it. I love the color of the brick. I'm sure when it was coming up, somebody, it was just a pile of bricks over here in the yard, and the crew had to come together and put it all together, brick by brick. Initially, it may look overwhelming, but guess what they did? They focused on that one task at a time. I gotta put this brick, boom, 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 boom. It wasn't like, okay, I gotta go watch the dog, I gotta go pick up the kids, I have to go and pay this bill. All these things may be in the back of a person's mind, but guess what? It's taking action and just laying these bricks, brick by brick by brick. So he can go do all those things I just named. Watch the dog, pick up the kids, pay his bills. Why? Because he chose this one thing to do and not get overwhelmed and get focused. So, to overcome overwhelm, take a breath, step back, make a decision. Choose one path. Commit to it, go forward. I said it sounds simple, but you know what? There are many things in our lives that we completely overcomplicate. Some things are a lot more simpler than we realize. And I get to see this from just keeping an open mind about those in my life, and I see reflections of myself and other people as well. And I say, hey, well, why are they making these type of decisions? So all these things going on in our minds. A lot of times we allow things, especially from the outside looking in, looks overwhelming to ourselves, but in actuality, it's really not as big as we think it is. It's not. It's just simply not. Like I said, if it don't get done, somebody else is gonna do it, or guess what? It won't get done. It'll be there for another day. But either way, don't overwhelm yourself. Okay. Step back, take a breath, make a decision, go for it. Peace.